welcome to another very random stream that I've literally just planned now. So this kind of stream, how do I put this? This is a very good classic to me. In fact, this started an entire career for me. This is one of those live drunk streams. Yes, you've got that correct. Yes, I've had a couple pints, only a couple pints, and then I've been drinking old fashions as well. I've been making my old fashions at home. I've got some nice bourbon, some nice like sugar syrup I've made, and then loads of bitters and some proper maraschino sherries. So this is the kind of stream that we have to do in that kind of situation, obviously. So before I do anything else, like programming wise or anything like that, I think we're going to have to do the social networking media things just to tell people this is even happening, right? So as that is the case, this is we're going to save. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to post this to all of the correct places, if you know what I mean. As we're doing. Right, so we've posted all to the places to let know people what is happening today, because this is clearly the place, right? For this live drunk stream where, yes, this is, look, it's the first day off where I've not been working too much, really. It's been a lovely day in that regard. So, fun days, absolutely indeed. So hello. Right, well, welcome. We are posting this into the places that it needs to be placed, obviously. And, yeah. Right, so, whilst we wait, we're going to be talking about some amazing things that happen. Hi. Johnny, how you doing? Anyway, Johnny Harler. Is it Johnny Harley? Is it right? I think it has been quite a few years, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I do remember your name at least. Yeah, Josh. I'm drunk, okay. Close enough, right? Josh, John. They have not even have the same root, okay, in etymology wise. But yes, you know what I mean. Hello. Welcome to the live drunk stream where you get people's names wrong, and it's going to be always quite fun. So we're just going to wait till people get on before we do the programming action, obviously, because this is just something where I didn't even tell anyone this was going to happen. It's just happening, obviously. Yeah, kind of thing. It's one of those wonderful things, obviously. But you never know what's going on, right? Right? Yes, you love some game programming. Well, you might be. There's a big might in that statement. You might be in for some luck. Because I've got an idea. Hopefully I'm on for only 100% less than 2 hours. That is guarantee, because I need to go to sleep. Okay? I need to correct my circadian rhythm because it's absolutely cocked up, is the best way of putting it. But yes. So this is the thing. I think we've probably got enough people now, right? There's a few dozen of you, okay? Like, in technical terms, right? So, to recap what's happened in the past few streams. So, we need to go to the screen. Here we go in here. So, for what most people know, the very first thing that's happened here is I was making on the very first stream that I kind of resurrected all this for, was I was making an isometric, so 2.5D game, where you've got some guy walking around in a dungeon where you've got randomly placed objects. It's even got collision detection with these objects, obviously. I painstakingly did all this on the stream. And look, it's got animations as he's running. This is all again on one stream. And as he stops, he might pick something off the ground. There we go, pick something off the ground for us. And that's kind of the thing that's going on here. So it's kind of like, that was the first stream that I did. Right? Wait. We get to the second stream where I went, screw it, we're going to do a dungeon crawler. We're going to be first person, 3-dimensional, but with a kind of a Minecraft aesthetic to it. And this is what was developed, obviously, on this stream. This very much Wolfenstein, but it's not raycast. It is literally just 3D rendering. But it's very, like, again, the assets, I did this from an old Ludum Dare game, or Ludum Dare, if you want to go full on Latin. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. And look, it's a nice little game that I am, say, quote-unquote game. We had a collision detection as well. Hey, collision detection, it's great. So that's one of the things that happened here. We've got collision detection, we've got some particle effects. When I say particle, these are billboards, obviously. They're always in the plane that you're looking at. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Now, for something that most people have not seen unless you've been following me on Twitter. By the way, I'm on Twitter at twitter.com or x.com nowadays, it's Kent's. And it's the user, I'm the Gingerbill, obviously. It is the Gingerbill. Because unfortunately, the Gingerbill was already taken when I made this account like 14, 15 years ago. Yeah, it's annoying, right? And I think the Gingerbill that it was already taken was honestly a cat. Yeah, it was some guy's cat he made. Yeah, of course. So a cat beat me to the punch. Never the best thing in the world, obviously. But that's what it is, right? As you do. As you do. So, we've got into that kind of situation here. And we've got that. So, last stream, we made a card game. You think, oh, God, that sounds really boring. It's like, no. Card games are really kind of the best game to play when you're bored out your mind in a weird meeting or you're on the phone to some, like, I don't know, the tax man maybe, and you just want something in the background so you're not just too bored, right? So we designed and built a card game live on stream. And this card game was this. I dubbed it because someone in the chat named it for me and I thought that's a good name. We called it Face the Court. So, since the last stream, I have done about 3 different things to polish it. And I spent about like 90 minutes on this total, by the way. And this polishing, as I'm going to call it, right? The polishing is, I made it work on all the different resolutions because before I worked on like 1080p display, but now it works on all resolutions here, as you can tell. That's the first thing. The second thing is I added different modes for the game. So I had easy, medium, and hard because before I only had the quote-unquote medium difficulty, which is what you're looking at now, which is the one I calculated mathematically to show that it actually should work. So that's that aspect. But then I added also easy, which has less cards. It has more cards, sorry, for easy. On this thing, but same amount on the court. And they're all the kings, the queens, and the jacks, obviously. Or knaves if you're in the continentals, obviously. That's what you call them. And then you go to the hard mode, which is they have a full deck. So they have 2 packs for the court and then a full deck of everything else but the court for that. And this is mathematically hard because I figured it out mathematically what the expected chances you're going to do this and all that lot. And then, shall we play it? So we should do medium mode, shall we, to play the game? So before I'm going to check on the chat. The very first thing people are asking is like, yes, this will be uploaded to YouTube like everything else. Once the stream is done on this, I'll upload it directly onto YouTube as the thing happens. So let's play a game of this, Face the Court, which is, by the way, is a very fun game, which, hey, this is the only game live on stream, which I have, how do I put it, put on to GitHub. So if you are wanting to know how to do this on GitHub and play, here's the source code for this game. It's really good. And yeah, you can play along. That's pretty much what I'm playing is right now. So the rule of the game is your cards have got certain points. So most of them are face values except aces are 11 and jokers are 13. Yeah. And effectively you're just trying to whittle away at the court cards, right? So the court cards, obviously there are 12 of them. And then the rest of you here, there are, I think, is it 21 plus the jokers are 23, I think, if I remember correctly. How drunk am I? I've had 2 pints of Abbott Ale, that's at 5%, and then I've had 2, what's it called? Old-fashioned cocktails that I've made myself, so you figure out the thing. It's a Tuesday, obviously, can't get too drunk, but at the same time, I kind of want to reset my circadian rhythm. That's kind of the view. Abbott Ale is very good. It is a very lovely drink. Very malty, and everyone's had it. And again, it's one of those where you go and it's like, oh, it's on guess. And it's like, oh, it's 5%. I'm like, I'll have to try that, obviously. It's going to have all the flavor. That's kind of the thing. So let's play this card game. It's going to be the most interesting thing anyway. Okay? Right? So let's go. So let's play this game. So the idea is here, I've got 3 kings and I've got, oh God, this is an awful hand, but whatever. Right, I'm going to just equalize them out their way. And they've got a 2, so we'll kill that. I've got a 9, perfect. Don't want to waste the jokers to do the ace. Aces were 11, obviously. We've got joker, which is 13, so just kill the king straight away. Perfect. I've got enough to make 11. Oh, this is annoying. I've just got to waste both those cards. Not the best game in the world, but let's do this. Sorry, the way I'm pacing this sounds like one of those clickbait adverts where you go like, oh, you're just going to do these shoot things where, by the way, those games don't exist until they figure out what the A/B testing is and then they create the game, obviously, because they are literally predatory companies. But yes, that's kind of what I'm kind of sounding like tonight. And yeah, so I've lost. I could have won that, but you can guess what predicament I'm in. Let's play again, shall we? And let's click again. Right. That one will work. So that goes there. 6, 3, 3. Lovely. 5, 4, 3. Working. This is working as I expect, right? Look, I'm a lightweight when it comes to drinking, okay? So I know 2 cocktails and 2 beers is nothing, but look. Saying I've started a brewery, right? A professional, fully licensed brewery. I'm not that great when it comes to the drinking. So let's put it that way, right? Right, there we go. Much better place framing for the camera. So we've got now 13 here, so let's do that. We've 1 off, so we'll just do that. Joker's there. Let's just go pretend that's 11. Oh God, that's awful. 11. 12. Damn it. Even medium mode, I'm not doing very well. God damn the random number generation. RNG's not so good tonight, okay? I'm going to blame the RNG gods. That's what it is. Because there's gods for RNG, right? Right? There's a joker coming up, so don't want to waste it too much, but kind of need to. Fun. I've got to waste one. There's a 2 coming up, so if I do that, 2, 2, Joker, 5. God, I'm not going to win this. This is medium. I'm on medium, for goodness sake, guys. Well, yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to try my beer, unfortunately, because I only do kind of, quote-unquote, locally, in the local region for the time being. So this is oh, God. Right, let's go hard mode. This might be easier, right? Right, you never know. Hard mode might honestly be easier. It's not. Mathematically speaking, it's a lot harder, okay? So, yeah. 11, 15, that'll be fine. That is definitely 13. That's 13. Ooh. 3. 2. Oh, God. Oh, fudgy nudgekins. King. It's definitely 13. Yeah. 11. Oh, okay, that's 13. Too much. Oh well. Just evenly distribute them, kind of thing. 13 ace. 2 off. Oh, look, I'm trying to win my own game. This is where things get a little bit kind of annoying. So clearly, I'm trying to win until I start doing some programming, because I've already got a great idea for a game already, by the way, tonight, and hopefully I can finish it in like less than 2 hours, as I originally said originally, right? So this is there's a 2. Shit, I'm gonna have to waste the ace. Joker. Let's go to the 6. Waste the ace. 10. 7. 8. We've got 9, and there's 4 coming up, so waste it on that. Ace. 13, 12, fine. 12. That. Fun. Waste that. Yeah, I didn't do well. Come on, I can do hard mode, okay? I can do it. Right, that's 7. This is really hard for a game, okay? And I'm trying to do it as well, and the thinking capacity is limited, obviously. Again, there's chances where this doesn't win, obviously. Like, it is just random number generator at the end of the day. Ace, 3, 9, 3, that's perfect. 10, 7, 8, 4, 6, 7, that's not good. 13, that goes down. 9, 8, 9, 4, 12, 1, 2, 10. Ace, Joker. Oh, perfect. Finally, it only took me like 10 minutes to win this game, but I won it at hard mode and I won at my own game. So this is also the other thing like I added was the animation for the win screen where the cards just kind of fly around on the screen. Oh, that took a long time. Yeah. Whew. Makes you out of breath. I'm just I'm just pretending at this point. Right, you've seen the game. You can play it. It's now live. It's live on GitHub, so you can do whatever you need. So we've seen this. So we need to create a new game from scratch. Now I'm thinking to do an isometric game again, a 2.5D isometric game. But the kind of game that I was planning on doing is if I open up a new stream. We've got, what is it? Stream games. We're going to copy and paste the isometric game directory, obviously. I'm going to rename that to... I'm going to call it Market. Okay? So, that alone, Market name is going to confuse people. Right? For some reason, we've got a stupid screenshot on that thing, but we don't need it. Did I just... No, it's there. Right, so I delete that. We got that. So we're going to call this Market from scratch. It should be identical to the thing I've already created, correct? So this is the thing about when you do like prototypes and such. The kind of idea with a prototype is you just kind of copy and paste your old code. Like, you can always rewrite it from scratch, but that's just wasting like time and energy and other things, right? There's other things other than just time and energy, right? We need to develop action. Times time, energy times time is your action. That's the weirdest physicist joke you've ever heard. And also, by the way, sorry, to just co-op the stream, by the way, clearly I work for Django Effects, and we have a brand new short film out, which is where I'm showcasing that we are the masters of the elements. Well, because nowadays, we've got Emogen, Liquigen, and Geogen in action. And these are absolutely wonderful applications you should try out. And I highly recommend checking out the short film that we've made. Now, I'm not going to play it on stream, but we could. We could play it directly on stream if you'd like. But I highly recommend you go watch it. I've posted this into the chat directly if you're watching live on Twitch. And if it's on the recording stream, is probably going to be in the doobly-doo below, obviously. So you can watch it there as well. So I highly recommend this. I'm going to give you a short preview of this. And I'm going to put the desktop audio on before, so you can actually hear it properly. Yeah. Again, we've been using all of our products, so Liquigen, Geogen, and Emogen, as well as Unreal Engine to make this. So. very good film. This was at the end directed by Nick. So this is an amazing little project. It's been wonderful. It's in the work. So yeah, it's a really, really nice little thing. So this is kind of a showcase of all our engine products together, which you can buy. Into a suite, obviously. And if you buy this week, by the way, between the 22nd to the 28th July 2024, you'll get a reduction, obviously, in the price. Before again increases after that. So please, interested in getting the tires and that's very well worth it. So this is a wonderful thing that loads of people have been working on. So pretty much, again, the amazing stuff that we've done for our entire team, and it is wonderful that it's been done. We've had some external contractors help us out, especially like for some of the music and some of the modeling and all that stuff. So it's not just all of it's been in-house, but there are a lot of people in-house working on this as well. It's not just been us in that regard. And it's been a lot of work. So we've got the entire Elemental suite here now. We've got, again, the Elemental suite. Click on this, and there's this slide here from the thing itself, and if I can find that slide, I can find that literal bit in the film. There we go. I got the exact frame as well. That is how good I am. I got this exact frame. It's very good in the Element Suite. We've got Emogen here, Geogen, Liquidgen, and a few show everything that's going off here. So I'm going to just scale this up so you guys can see it. So I'm going to do double scale, right? Because you're on stream, so you want to kind of see this a little bit bigger than normal. So do learn more, and of course, learn more. We've got, this is our Imogen thing. You can see, here's the golem from the video itself, our little short video. And it's a Masters of Fire, and we're going to get to see how everything works in our UI. In fact, if I make that a little bit, probably only 1.5 times. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, not 1.25? 1.5? No, 1.2. I don't know. I'm trying to do scaling and it's not working as I expect. Okay. There we go. 1.5. Looks good for you guys, I think. Good enough scale. This is the Imogen. Obviously, everyone knows what Imogen looks like. It's great. We've also got the Geogen, which is the Masters of Earth. Look at this beauty, man. Oh, good God. That is, there you go. Refresh to make sure I refresh every single page. Look at that Geogen. Looks gorgeous with the UI as well. There's the kind of views you can do. Here's the timeline. Here's the no graph, the property stuff. So everything's great. So I'd recommend checking out this thing. And we've got, again, a Liquid Gen as well. So it's a wonderful little thing. It's got the short film. It's in the thing. It's when you do whatever you need to do. It'll be wonderful. So, shall we start making a game tonight? Right? So my idea, and the reason why I've called it Market, right, for the game tonight, is I'm going to try and do a market simulator in less than the next, what, hour and 40 minutes? That's going to be fun. So, let's see if I can do this in this good state of mine is the best way of putting it. So I'm going to just click Open Containing Folder for this thing here. I am going to completely delete all of the character and the scene data. So now if I ran the game, it wouldn't work, right? But I do have a massive sprite sheet, which I've got for free, effectively, off itch.io. Is it free or was it paid? I can't remember. It's one of the other. This little thing here, so it's a little bit isometric game again. And I'm going to have to figure out how to use this sprite sheet because it's, yeah, it's quite big. I'll figure it out. We're going to figure out live on stream together, obviously. So we've copied and pasted this entire project. And when we run this, it won't work. So we've got load directory of textures. So if I go back to my card game, we should have a... We don't need to have a load textures because we've only got a sprite sheet this time around. So we can delete all this crap, right? We can just block most of this out. In fact, you know what? I'm going to just delete most of this code. Because it turns out we won't need most of this, right? We've got Raylib working. We're going to call this Market Game. And we've got this running and it's going to be, of course, crashing because I never actually handled the drawing. And it's going to be going on forever. So... let's try and do the RL begin drawing. Again, I'm using Raylib for all of these things, even though this has been experience for me for learning Raylib, honestly. So there's the begin drawing working, and it's kind of working as we expect. We want to change the clear background color. So we want to go, instead of black, let's go for that lovely... sky blue that we've all been, well, not I've all been, I personally have been showing you guys, obviously. So let's go for 200 and 255. That's a nice-ish sky blue, I'd say, right? Yes, you can't read it. That's correct. The text is going to be so teeny tiny. Let's make it a little bit bigger. That's probably too big. And we probably don't need anything on from this game either anymore. We can't see anything. However, we're going to have to load a texture up. So we're going to have to do the sprite sheet RL, and we're going to have to try and load, we haven't got this in here. So we're going to have to do add folder. And if I go into Odin, vendor, and I'm going to add Raylib into this mix. If I do raylib.odin, we can then just load, we'll see what the load texture is, right? So we've got RL for raylib, load texture. And we're going to res dot sprite sheet dot png. Wait, what have I just done? Yeah, it's under image, sorry. Image slash sprite sheet. That's wonderful. So then I can just do defer RL unload texture and then pass that sprite sheet directly in. So now that we've got this kind of thing going on, we should probably try and render this texture to the screen. So this is going to be a draw texture, right? Sprite sheet. We're going to be, let's do RV, so 0, 0. God, it's too big for me. That's what she said. So we're going to do this, and we should be able to see the entire sprite sheet, right? Now this is it's showing that the sprite sheet is rendering. This is the beauty of raylib. It just works. It's kind of working as expected. Now the only problem I've got here, right, is this is just the entire sprite sheet. We need to figure out which objects that we want to draw, and that's going to be fun. So what I'm going to do is load up the sprite sheet directly. We've got it here, right? And then we're going to go reveal. And then I'm going to open this with a text editor. So we're going to do a sprite. I own this now, but I own it. So where the heck are you downloaded is my question. It's not there. Thought I downloaded it. I bought it. I know I did on stream. Right? It's here. Great. Right, I've just loaded this into the Sprite software. What is the best way to remove something from a dynamic array while looping the array? Good question. Just to show you on stream how to do this, obviously, like live. So let's say you've got your array here, and it's a dynamic. I know T. Just keep it generic for something. So if you're iterating across it, the best way to do this is actually to just do a normal C style loop like this. But then keep the post condition blank, which is why I'm doing like a comment in there to explain it. So if we have some condition to remove it, all we need to do is we can do an ordered remove, or we can do an unordered remove, whichever you want to do. Right? Oops. And then we've got the index. After that, if that's not the case, we can do that. So we could always do the unordered remove or the ordered remove, whichever you prefer. And that's how you could to remove things. That's one way of doing things, if you're going to do it completely in order. The other option, as someone says in the chat, and they are a good way of doing things, and this only works for this particular case, by the way, so if we do it in reverse, so for, let's say, the element, the index in array, if the condition to remove exists, then we can do ordered remove or unordered remove, and doing that. That only works when you apply reverse to it. So these are the two ways, if you're going forwards or you can go reverse, right? They are both ways that can work. If that hopefully makes sense. I hope. Right, we can go back to just general Odin stuff and go try and render this thing out. So the reason why I got a sprite out is I can probably get some coordinates. So if I can generate a big grid where it's just this, right? Just this. Oh God, I don't want to draw on it. Kind of want the marquee selection tool. So like wherever this is being selected from, I don't know. I don't know what the tile sizes are. I just got this randomly off like itch.io. Does it work? Probably. Do I know why this works? No. So they gave me a nice like sprite sheet, but it looks like I'm gonna have to do the hard work. Why do I have to do the hard work? Seriously, though, like, I'm trying to figure this out. No, I'm not trying to resize. I'm trying to figure out where I meant to do it from. Like that. Okay, so that's still slightly off, but the selection tool is at 2235, 94 by 94, which I don't think it's 1994, but let's figure this out, right? So we want to do the rect version. Yeah. So we've got the source. So that was, oh God, what was those numbers again? 2235 and 1915. That can't be correct. That's the full size of the texture, isn't it? So that one is actually at 321 1402. So 321 1402. I don't think that's correct, but let's say that's the case. And then it is going to be, the size of that is 94, I guess, by 94, which doesn't sound right. I bet it's 96 by 96, right? And then the destination is going to be the same 96 by 96. And then what else parameters do we have to put in here? We've got a position for it, interestingly. Let's go for the Pro, not the destination. Origin, we're just going to keep it 0, 0 because we're not really that too fussed. Rotation 0 and the tint is going to be white. Or white. I'm going to go full on accent. So we've got texture source. Oh, it's too big for me at this point. Source, destination, origin, rotation, tint. What's gone wrong? Oh, I missed a comma. Of course I did. So that's rendered that. That doesn't mean it's correct, by the way. So we can just try and do I know, 16 of them. By another 16 of them. And I'm going to do times by I times by J. And that's just wrong. I just did the scaling all wrong, and that shouldn't have done that. So there's loads drawn, but I don't think it's 96, because that just looks like there's loads of padding. So if I just do size, and I'm going to put 94 in there again, rather than 96. That's still not correct. These are really weird textures. Are they 90? No. 86? 82? 60, let's do 64. That doesn't work because I didn't do... Right, this is what happens when you do a live drunk stream, right? None of it makes any sense when you're doing things. So let's do it back to 94. No. 92. Let's just do 64 to see if... Yeah, that's working. Okay, so that is working. 86. No. 90. No, too much. Still too much. 94 seems to be it. No? It really is 96 then. That does not look right to me. The reverse modifier is necessary to not go out. Well, the reverse modifier, all that does, the directive, is just say, hey, when you're trading this, it goes backwards. That's all. Yeah. So we now need to do the conversion that we did like in the last game, where we go from tile to screen space. So we can do the tile to screen space function. We can bring it back. Again, these assets that I may have just got off randomly off the internet, maybe just a bunch of crap, to be honest, put it bluntly. So that is going to be 96 by 96. like that. And then we can do the thing here. So F32 of I, F32 of J. And I've got parentheses again. That's not correct. So that's going to be the destination, right? Which is going to be another rectangle. X destination Y equals that, and then destination width, destination width, height equals tile size. Okay, that did not render correctly, nor in the right order. So I don't remember which ordering I was meant to be doing. So if I do J equals like 60 minus 1, J is equal to, like, if I just do the standard C style for loop. Okay, that's now rendering in the right order. Yeah, but that is not looking good. Everything's slightly crap. Yeah, make sure when you do the reverse operate, it would work. If you do it forward, you're going to miss ones, is what I'm going to say. So it may kind of quote unquote work, but it won't. So I'm just chatting to the chat, obviously, that you can see right above my head. That's where the chat is. But yeah, this is not good. So I need to then add, I don't know, to the Y position here. I'm going to add the RL screen. What's the screen height? Yeah, get screen height for some reason. Why is it getters and setters? But it's just times that by 0.5, just so that it is in like half. We can kind of see it. So this is not right. So we've got the tile size, width, and height. Width and height. I don't think it's 96. Let's literally do 96 divided by 2. And that's just wrong. So it's not 96. Let's try 64. No, it's still getting... So I think the problem here is this isometric style that I've done isn't correct, because at the moment we're just created the game FQ, but it's not good. Which means that the Y coordinate is probably like even smaller. Yeah, that. This is what happens when you have assets which aren't necessarily correct. So I wonder if it's exactly those numbers. That just looks quite wrong. Yeah, they're not square. And they're being cut off. Which is why I think these assets may not even be that good. Yeah, this is fun. That's not right. This serves me right for getting random assets off the internet. I might not be making a game tonight, guys, because the assets are quote unquote wank. It's a technical term. So it is 2 to the 2 there. And then, so it is 322 by the looks of it. If I put my cursor there, yeah, it's 321. It is 321. Okay, whoever made this starter sprite sheet has never dealt with sprites in their life. This is awful. Like, you're meant to have it as to a grid, not just randomly place them and look like they're on a grid. Seriously, who did design this? Imogen's code is quite complex. The best way of putting it is we have like over 500,000 lines of Odin code. So yeah, plus all the shaders on top. So yeah, it's quite complex. It's not a trivial program. We know what we're doing, and it is the best way of putting it. Yeah, I don't think these assets are any good. I'm kind of disappointed that these assets don't work. Yeah, this person's not a game dev person. He can do assets, he can draw them. And in fact, the thing I got had all the vectors, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. And then I'm trying to use them, and I'm like... You can see me put my hands into my head and going, this is not good. This is really not good. It's just... Okay. So what I can do is just go get myself a glass of water and maybe something else to drink. I don't want to keep doing to the Kenny assets, but even the Kenny assets, some of them aren't that great. I thought this would have been good. Really? Okay, let's go to the assets. Let's go isometric. We've got the desert. We've got the town expansion, town sketch. I guess they're in the like ones that like, that's the initial one and that's the expansion set, I'm guessing. Which doesn't have the market kind of like vibes that I was looking for. We could do a tower defense game. Honestly, we could do a tower defense. I'm going to go set myself a glass of water. And in that meantime, I want you guys to kind of... can I do a voting system here? If so, just put in the chat if you want me to do a tower defense or if you want me to do the market simulator, like SimCity kind of game. I'm going to keep the isometric style, or if you want to do something slightly different, please tell me in the chat, please, guys, because I'll be right back after this, okay? Okay, I'm back. Okay, so we've got some questions. Okay, so we've got resorting to the good old faithful Kenny assets. Yeah, the thing is, Kenny is usually better. Try making another image and organize the images. No. His stuff. Make a tower defense game, tower defense game, tower defense game. Yeah. Empire-like is your idea. Okay. Although the market thing might be cool if you track stats and stuff over time, Factorio style. Yeah, it might be cool. RTS is someone asking for. Factorio game. Yeah, this is not vodka. This is a quality council pop, as we've all learnt from the stream from the other day. Council pop, also known as tap water. Okay. Sensei soccer clone. I have no idea what that is. I know what soccer is, I know what Sensei means, but like I have no idea what that game is. So I think we've settled on a tower defense game. Okay. All I'm going to say is I'm not trying to mog you, the Primogen, okay? I'm just gonna make a tower defense game and see how this goes. I am not old enough to know Amiga classics, man. I'm sorry. I know I'm bold, but let's just this way. I'm a hell of a lot younger than you think. Is all I'm gonna say. Oh, yeah. It's one of those games. Okay, I'm too old. No, too young. Too young. Sorry. Right, we're doing a tower defense game. Screw it, we're mogging the Primogen. If you're watching, I'm so sorry. I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm asking the chat. Blame the chat. Okay, continue with that. Donating, not because I don't want to donate, but because I'm going to do this game. So, go back. Reveal. Screw that sprite sheet. We've now got a lovely sprite sheet again for all of this. Now, I know Kenny is annoying. That's the way of putting it. We've got brown for all the different towers. And what he's done, lovely. I say lovely, it's not lovely. He has provided the sprite sheets directly, but he's also provided, if I go back to the reveal here, we've got all of the images directly rather than just the sprite sheet. So the sprite sheet, it seems like, oh, why don't we just use the sprite sheet? Well, he's set all the stuff up as XML files. Yeah, we'll just use the sprite sheet. Screw it. I know how to do this. I'm going to show you some very tip tricks with Sublime Text. Right, we're going full on Sublime Text themed here, right? We're going to copy and paste all of that crap in there, right? We're then going to load the, what's this called? Landscape sheet.png. We've got the sprite sheet for this. And then we're going to just get rid of the, just draw the texture, V, at those coordinates. And now we've got all of that kind of thing. So we're now looking at these sprite sheets. I will say these look better than what I was doing, to be honest with you. But right, we got that. The people saying, oh no, XML parsing. And I'm like, we're not going to do XML parsing. XML is retarded. So we're going to show you something different in general, right? Okay. And by the way, tonight's drink, as well as not doing old fashioned, I've still got the lemon rinds I've got in here. Is I've gone for Woodford's bourbon. I didn't want to go for the really good rum, or really good rum, or really good whiskey in general. In fact, both of those. So I'm going for some nice bourbon instead. It's American, I know, not Scotch, but it'll be fine. Oh, that's good. Right. So, you ready to learn how to do some Sublime Text magic? Well, I hope you are, because what I'm going to do is show you. I know what, copy and paste that. Go back to the XML page. Right, here's the XML. And we're going to copy and paste that. So we've now got, copy and paste that XML into here. It gets a little bit kind of like bizarre. So all we need to do is call this a subtexture. And a subtexture, we just call it like subtexture like that, or even just like lowercase. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go full on like name. So we have the name, which is a string. We have the X coordinate, which is we're going to call it is like in I32, as well as the Y coordinate. We then also have the width and the height. Yeah. And that's our subtexture. So you may be asking, so this is going to be the landscape subtextures. Yeah. I'm going to put an RO data on there just because I'm really feeling fancy tonight, even though is not going to make a difference for this tiny game. Right? Ready? We select every single line. This is what multi-cursors are wonderful for, by the way. Look at this. I'm just literally... Okay, this one's going to be a little bit harder to do. So there we go. So now we can just do all the alignment, which is, by the way, the alignment tool I use is a plugin for the software. So there you go. That's how I parse XML. So the alignment tool, for let people know, is there is a tool in Sublime Text called Sublime Alignment. It's just one of these general packages. I've been using this for like over a decade. Created by Will Bond. Will Bond, I think, is the guy who even makes Sublime Text, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he's one of them. So, really good tool. That's what I use to do it so fast. But this is kind of multiple cursors allow you to do things. You don't even have to use macros anymore. Right? It's that good. So what I'm going to do here is go through all of those textures. So there's the ST in subtextures, right? And then we're going to do back to going to the draw texture pro, right? Because I'm starting to learn this. So let's call these landscape. Is it scapes? Landscape, yeah. And we've got to generate things out. So we've got the source, rectangle, so RL, texture. And in fact, what we'll do is go from these being F32, go to F32s, because to be honest with you, they'll be nicer when we deal with them. So we've got x.y, s.width, s.height. So that's our source. It's lovely jubbly. The destination is also going to be the source as well. Because I just want to draw them on the screen to begin with, right? The origin is going to be 0, 0, and then we have rotation as nothing. Wait, where? Sorry. I'll repeat that again. Where? Oh, not texture. Rectangle. Right, we've now just drawn them all on the screen, and that looks really good. Like, really good. So that's kind of like, okay, so we've got some stuff here. I think we should probably just take... We've got these subtextures, right? We call this a subtexture. We've got subtextures, and we can call this landscape map, right? And this landscape map is just going to be make a string of the subtexture, right? Do a defer delete just to be a bit more correct. You don't need to because it's just wasting memory at the end of the day, but it'll work, right? And all we have to do is map this. st.name equals st. So when we render this, the one that we want, by the looks of it, is going to be landscaped 0, 0, 0. So the only way we can find this out is if we go to landscape, right? Landscape 0, 0, 0. Not that one. Interesting. Which one is that? Which one's this? Ah, so Will Bonnet, I knew he was one of the developers. I couldn't remember who he was. So yeah, I did the pack and then he's now joined the team, which is great. So John was the original. Yes, John's the original Sublime Text developer. Yeah, I've been using Sublime Text for like 14 years at this point. 13, 14 years. Yeah, I'm not as old as you think, but I've been using Sublime Text for a while. So yeah, that's always kind of embarrassing, but it's good text editor, okay? It's Landscape 31. I'm trusting you in the chat. If you play me wrong, it's not 31. Okay, it wasn't 31. Okay, shall we just do a random guess? So 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06. I love you, Kenny. This is clearly the most best way to represent your landscape things in a completely random order. I am kind of a little bit pissed off. So you know what? I'm going to drag and drop the landscape into here. And we're going to find out what this one is. So we get the selection marquee. I'm going to do just a random number. Doesn't matter what. This is going to tell me we're looking for anywhere between 920 and 1111. So 9... I don't see it unless you guys, it's jumping out on the screen for you. I don't see it. Like that's the texture I'm looking for, right? And it's going to be in the 926-ish and the 11, 12, 11, 11 route. So 928-ish maybe. So number 7. Well, we were just what, one off, I guess. No, we weren't. 07 wasn't it? No. I see. So which one was it? Which was the win? You could debug Odin in Sublime. I just don't like doing that myself. I always have like a separate debugger, but that's just me. I'm very weird. We could go back to looking at the Odin code because it'd be easy because it's all aligned. So I don't know which one it is. So I'm going to look for 11, around the 1111 sage. Rocks 4 is definitely not it, but let's try a Rocks. It's not Rocks 4. Okay? It's going to be one of them. Which one is this? Landscape 32? Yeah, I'm going to trust you, chat. That did not tie that in right. It's not 32. The one above it. Let's go 31. It's 22. You were a 10 out, chat, okay? 10 out. So we got 22. That is our main tile. And because now we've got the width and the height correct, it looks like the width, all of them are about the same. So that is 132. So some of them 133, but most of them 132. And then the height all seems to be around about like 99. Really, Kenny? These are really weird numbers. Like, I might not be making a game tonight because of this. It looks a bit crazy to me. But, okay. Right. So, what we're going to do is going to do the J 16. Let's do the 16 thing again, yeah? Then we can do an I. So, we're going to go across in that. Oops, I. Yeah. We can go and go from screen space to tile space. X, Y of I, J. Destination.x equals X. Destination.y equals Y. That kind of worked. Yeah, so destination what Y is get screen height 0.5 tile height divided by 0.5 as well. Okay, so that is looking a bit shite. So it's 128 by 100? No, is it by 96? It's 96. So that looks perfect now. So we do 128 by 96. I'll get rid of the anti-aliasing because, to be honest with you, that'll fuck us up in the end later on, by the way. That looks pretty fucking gorgeous. right? You've all got to admit that is the technical term for that, right? So it works. Yeah, that works. We've got landscape map. We could also just do, let's do rand, shall we? Subtextures, so rand dot choice, and it's going to be different every single time as well, which is clearly not what we wanted. But if we do r rand create 1337 every single time, then we do the context random generator equals default random generator. It should be identical every single time. Now, some of these aren't actually flat. Some of them are slightly lower than each other, which makes no sense to me. Like, why aren't they all like flat? Okay, some of them I can understand a bit like bit not flat, but like some of them are like what? Yeah. This makes no sense. Right. For people who don't realize, the reason why I'm getting drunk tonight, or quote unquote drunk, is so that I can wake up early in the morning. My circadian rhythm is absolutely screwed, and the only way that I've ever known in my life to kind of counteract that is unfortunately getting drunk. I do not recommend this. This works only for me. I would not recommend it for anybody else. So, that's kind of what it is. So, that kind of looks kind of cool to me. Yeah. This is meant to be a tower defense. So, because it's a tower defense, we probably want to know which bits are the pieces for the road, and then we want to know which bit the rocks. Now, we know which bit the rocks or the crystals are, and the trees. So, we kind of just need to know just the... just that's the plane, right? We probably want to do we want to kind of center this if we can as well. So the X is going to be the tile width. It's a bit too much, that is. So that's meant to be width. That's not centered correctly. So that's, oh God. I don't know how to, I need to figure out how to figure out that to center that, because we need to have the width, right? And that width is going to be... Yeah, that's going to be fun. We could always just do a camera and then just do it manually, right? We want a 2D camera. The offset is at 0, 0. In fact, the only thing that's not in that is zoom. And then when we use that camera, we have begin 2D mode. And then we can end mode 2D. And then what we can do here is that we get, first off, we can calculate the DT. We get the frame time. Right? And then we can get camera dot, which one was it? Rotation and zoom origin. I don't know which one's correct. So let's do offset. Someone's going to know like things correctly for me. I don't know. So if we're going to do RL is key down, not pressed, but down. And then we're going to do the D. That should give us the positive one, right? Now let's just do... yeah, camera, speed, 1. This, no, let's do camera offset. Like this, yeah? That's going to be 1. A is going to be backwards. The thing is, I'm probably got us all inverted anyway. So W is going to be like Y minus 1. And then S is that. Camera dot offset is going to be camera offset. I'll then now normalize 0. And then I'm going to move 2 pixels a second. It's not enough. Let's go for tile width. No. Right, I know how to do this now. So if I do tile size, do the vector 2, right? That's just now doing whatever. Now if I do DT on that thing, it's one tile. It's kind of one tile a second. So, right and left is right, but up and down was backwards. So I did get it backwards, but I thought it was correct. No, wait. Eh? Okay, I got it right then. So let's go about like 5 tiles a second. Okay, and that gives us we're moving that on the screen, but it doesn't matter for the time being. I kind of want it working. So that should work, kind of thing, if you know what I mean. So that kind of looks nice, right? So if we look at the sprite sheet again, so landscape. Oh god, it doesn't work. Sublime Text. This is an issue with Sublime Text. I can't. It might be my fault actually. Probably my fault. Now we need to figure out the roads. So there are different types of roads. And because it's going to be a tower defense game, we kind of need to know what type of roads we're going to be dealing with. So let's do different tiles. So this is going to be a tile kind. Yeah. So we're going to have an unknown tile in there. We're just going to have grass. Wait, which one is this? Because we got that one right. So we got grass. In fact, this thing could have been the full grass that we didn't do that, but we're going to do slopes. No, not for a Twitch stream, man. I'm not that insane. I might be, but I'm not really, or am I? There's only one way to find out, to be honest with you, but like, I'm probably not. So I want to do grass, and then we're going to figure out which things are. So I know which way north is, obviously. North is going to be top right, and that's north direction, so you can figure out the rest from that. That's enough for us, right? So then we got all the different trees, and then the trees are going to be like a number range as well as the rocks. We can do some random number generation for them, but we don't need to worry too much about them. So I don't think we need the slopes, but we do definitely need the roads. So we can have a road north-south, east-west. We can have one that goes northeast, east-south, southwest, west-north. Or northwest, it doesn't really matter. They're the directions that they point in. We could also have directions that do multiple directions, so we have all 3 coordinates at the time. So it's going to be north, east, south, east, south, west, southwest, north, and then west, south, east. Yeah, they're like 3. And then we have all, which there should be an all one here somewhere, like that one. So we've got to reverse engineer and figure out which is which. Yeah. my microphone just relaxed. This is half the problem. Like, this is kind of this is what game dev is, right? You're figuring out how to do things. If I was designing this, I would have clearly just designed it in the same manner. But I didn't design this. So I've got to figure this out now. We've got all of these different coordinates, and now we've got to kind of associate them with what we're rendering. We've got the subtextures, right? So we've got the tile kinds. Landscape tiles. Subtexture. Like this. So we can now probably figure everything out. So the unknown one we can just ignore. So dot unknown is that. The rest though is going to be fun. So we're going to figure this out. So we know what the grass is, right? Yeah. Whoops. So grass, in this particular case, was number 22 that we figured out, right? That was fine. So, but then the real question is, once we've got all of these kind of calculated, so we can kind of cheat and get rid of this. We're going to have to just do it one by one. Or you guys, what north is going to be... I'm going to just bring up Milton. You're going to probably see some... Nope. That's going to be fine. Sorry, when you spill your whiskey, it's not always the funnest thing in the world, is it? It's only like tiniest drop of spill, but it's still a drop. Right, so in our coordinate system here, I've got this grid, right? And the grid here is X, and that's Y. So I'm going to be doing the coordinate system to be, that's north, east, south, and that's west. If that makes sense. Right? That is what I'm dealing with. So hopefully, if you can keep that in mind, that is the coordinate system we're dealing with. So I'm going to just go through all of these landscape tiles. And then render it, if you didn't guess. So we can just go to... Oh no, end mode doesn't get called because I just copied and pasted the wrong thing. So we've got that. So which one is... We can go back to the thing here. So we're looking for this north-south one here. So it's 0, 0 for the Y at least. That simplifies matters. But it's going to be around the coordinate 1327. It's number 29 then. Yep, that was number 29. Right, we're looking for east-west now. We could always just flip it, but that's just cheating. This one. We're looking for something in the vicinity of 930,229. I think it's 32. Yep, that was correct. Now we're looking for the northeast one, so we're looking for a corner. So going from northeast, it's this one here. So we're somewhat looking like 1586 to 298-ish. So we're looking at the 15 kind of 2. That one, so it's 34. Yeah, we're getting there. How is it you guys in the chat are figuring out faster than I am? Right, east to south. Which one's the east to... And I want it round. I don't want the rounded corners. I want the sharp corners as well, is what I'm trying to looking for. So, east to south. This one. Right, I'm going to... Oh, how do I put this? This is a live drunk stream. So when it's live and when you're drunk, the logic is not very good. And clearly people in the chat aren't drunk. And they know how to read things. And I'm just going through this like a moron. And clearly I've got all of these PNGs here. Yeah. And they all have numbers on. And that's how the chat is beating me. So. Yeah, so we're looking for east to south. That's 31. South to west. Sorry, I'm just finding this absolutely hilarious. Thanks, chat. Seriously, thank you. Okay. Yeah, even then, it's still not helping me because I'm clearly trying to do a linear search at this point. What? That one, 35. West to north now. Not rounded, I want the square. God. I'm not looking at the chat, okay? I'm not trying to think of how much time I would have saved, okay? This is clearly not a good place to be thinking. Right, 7 would be rounded. Rounded is not what I want. 39, it was the last one, that's why I couldn't see it. So we want now a junction that's north, east, and south. So... north, east, and south. That's north, south. North, east, and that's the north. That's north, south, and west. So let's just do. That's what 14. So which one is the one I'm looking for? That one's going to be everything but south. That's 11. Six, that's the one I was looking for initially, number 6. And then the east, south, west. Righty then. Ten. I'm right. The one that produces all of them is number 30. Why is my searching ability stupid? And the short answer is most people can guess this. It's called being drunk. Right. So we've got all these landscape tiles now, and they look fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Okay, we've got it. Get them all out, and we're rendering them as if they are on the sprite sheet. I have a hunch that these don't work, but we're going to find out. So I'm going to do random choice from those tiles, and that's not going to be able to be slicing them. That's half the problem, right? I can't slice a enumerated array. I can't. So because I can't do that, what I can do rand must be an enum type. Oh yeah, that's going to be... Right, that was so many there, and but that shouldn't be correct. That should be stable. Absolutely stable, in fact. That's just bad. Why is that not being stable? That's kind of terrifying me. I don't know. So this is where I'm like, okay, so we go ST, landscape tiles, grass. Nice. God, it's warm in here. It's 80 degrees Fahrenheit, or that's what, 26 degrees, no, 27 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it's warm. That's good stuff, council poppies. I mean, highly recommend it if it's drinkable in your area. I'm in the UK, yes, but the problem is I have a server running and a machine and monitors. It's explaining. Server, it runs permanently. I have a computer, which is a 4090, so it gets hot. And then I have two monitors, which are 4K HDR displays. Yet they get warm. And I've decided to shut the door just so I can show the advertisement of Jenga effects in the background. It's warm. I've rolled up my sleeves to show how warm it is. I'm not that pasty because you can see, like, if I close this monitor down, I'm clearly not as pasty as it looks. So, I use Fahrenheit and Celsius. Look, I am one of those people who can think in both. Yeah, don't ask too many questions. Right, so we've got all this. This is not like a tower defense game yet, right? Again, top tip, don't do this when you're drunk. So, I'm going to show you how I personally do a level map, and it's called writing a string. And the really easy way to do this, right, is we have map, right? We can't call it map. We're going to call this the level map, right? And we're going to just do a multiple kind of things, and then we're going to trim it as we're doing it. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everything that's going to be like a dot, 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 dot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is our level map. And just to prove how this works, we've got the map. We know its length. We know what the size is, right? Level size. We're going to be 16 by 16. Yeah. We're going to do a lovely assertion, say here, right? So level map, length of level map equals level size time level size. They're always going to be 16 by 16. And that isn't correct. So what we need to do is doubly do this. We go strings.trim space, I think. That should have worked. But it wouldn't be 16. It will be... Oh, bugger. That's not going to work right. Because I need to remove the very first character. But it's the very first space. So trim space left. Trim left space. So that's going to be level size plus 1 times level size. That's not a good idea. So what we could do here is do the most dodgiest like operation we could possibly do. So that's not Odin. That's Odin. We go into strings here and we can look at replace all. And I don't care how much I'm wasting in this card. So this is the string. The old is going to be, I don't know, a new line. And then replace that with nothing. That's fine. I'm going to get all the spaces and replace that with nothing still. And I'm going to do also like R in there. There's no more a thing in there, right? What the hell? Really? Okay, I'm not doing this approach. I'm going to do the other approach, which is clearly going to work. Because I'm clearly drunk. So things aren't going to be working in my mind. That is what I expect, right? There are 16 across and 8 down. I am retarded. This is why I do live drunk streams. This is how I made a career out of doing this nearly 8 years ago. I started just live streaming Odin drunk. And clearly it seems to work. Kind of. Right? So, we're going to go through this entire insanity. So we've got the tile char. We've got the level map. We're going to do level size by level size. So we have the level size times by J plus I. It gives us the tile. Yeah. Unknown doesn't do anything. Grass we now know to be grass. I'm going to put partial in here. Oh no, that's not even correct. What am I doing? Dot means nothing, right? So that worked. And just to prove it worked, let's do question mark. Nothing gets rendered. Okay, so if we do a road, I now am going to do a calculation to figure out the road, right? So we have it's coming in. I'm going to do hashes for the road. This is, by the way, how Spelunky worked. And I've just realized that those coordinates aren't going to be correct either. Because this is going to be positive X, correct? But that's going to be positive Y. So I need to do the opposite calculation. Level size minus J. Minus 1 minus J. Yeah, okay. So now this matches what matches in my head. Right? That's what going to be the road is. And I'm going to just do the... There you go. You got a lovely road generating. Yeah, Odin won't support closures because we don't have automatic memory management. Well, if you're used to Haskell, obviously, Haskell is very much like garbage collected like pleasure because that's Haskell for you. Right. So that you can see I've got a lovely road drawn in. Now, you may be asking, how do I know which road it's meant to be? And that's a brilliant question you've got to ask. And it is, right? X is going to be I, and then Y is going to be that nonsense. So now we're going to figure out if we're at the boundaries of the world, right? So we need to figure out how many neighbors it's got, right? To figure out which road it could possibly be. So if it's got a neighbor to the north, so if we're in that position there, it's got a neighbor to the north of it and to the south of it. Oh god, this is where calculation is going to be fun, right? So we're going to figure out. So we're going to have n east, south, west, bool. And then I'm going to have a massive switch statement on here. So if we have n and e, then the tile is going to be road. So north and actually, you know what? If it's going to be north and south, yeah, north south, northeast. In fact, let's make all these capitals just so I'm kind of being consistent. Yeah. Northwest. It's going to be west and north, isn't it? That's one set done. So the next set is going to be south and east. So east, south, south and west. And then, oh god, how many of them I've actually got to do? 11. Okay. North, east, south. North, east, west. Are going to be east, south, west. There's going to be one more I'm missing out. That's going to be south, west, north. South, west, north, yeah? Then it's going to be north, south, west, northeast, west, and then southwest or west, north. They're the 4 possibilities that could happen. Right? Okay, so we now need to figure out which ones even have a neighbor to the north or the south, right? So if if there is a position here, if I equals, if it's at 0, right? Then we know like if we're at 0, 0, we know that's the west plane, isn't it? Level size -1. It's going to be the east plane. Nothing gets rendered. That's absolutely fine. It's kind of what I expected. But if we're at, that's not what we do x and x, y and y. So that if it's a y equals 0, we've got in the north plane, and y equals 0, we're in the south plane. That should have worked. That's fine. So if x plus 1, yeah. First off, it's less than the level size. And level map level size times by y plus x equals the same thing again. Then we know to the east of it, it's got an east coordinate, yeah? So some of them do have an east coordinate set. Or x plus 1, that's meant to be x plus 1. There should be an east coordinate set. If it's then y plus 1, it should be the south coordinate is set. Yeah. It's minus 1. Yeah. It's going to be the north coordinate gets set. And then we can do the exact same thing again for x. It'll be the west coordinate that gets set. So I'm only just... Oh, that's meant to be west. What have I done wrong? X, X, Y, Y. They all seem to be correct. For some reason, across the east-west boundaries, I'm not doing it. So apparently this is an advent of code problem, apparently? Okay. What have I done wrong? I've also noticed the road here, clearly there's a gap underneath it. So those roads aren't actually what I expect. There is no east-west. Well, there's a west. Is there a west-east? Oh yeah, there's a south-west. Oh god, you're right. There's no west-east. East-west, east-west. There we go. So, we've got road rendering, guys. Look how amazing that is with the road rendering. Oh, clearly this 2-hour mark, I'm going to have to quit. It's not a game. We're going to have to do another stream one day, and it might be for a while, by the way. It might just be a while. I don't know. This is Game of the Year. This is Game of the Year material. I agree. We go... Yeah. We go back to the landscape stuff. Like, we've got this road, but it's 13 is what we're using for the... No, we do 13 rather than 12. 13 is closer to what we wanted, right? Because 12 was whatever the other one we had. 22 was too deep, and this is now the right deep depth, right? So you can see what's going on here. We've now got the path that starts and goes in. Right? We could probably just be a little bit fancier with our tower defense game. So, like, I'm going to do this to see what happens. So, interestingly... This is not being rendered, so there is nothing to above it, but there is something to below it. So if I looked at the map, there isn't anything dead. So this is kind of one of those where, luckily, because it's a tower defense game, it doesn't actually ever assume what's going on. Look at that. So that's now a little bit zigzaggy, right? And that kind of works as I expect. So we could probably just... We've got the rendering working, right? So but what we could do is that we've got the zigzaggy kind of thing going on and it's working as we expect. But I'm wondering now is what if we could loop back through itself, if you know what I mean? It's like some of the old, like if you ever done like Bloons tower defense games, they kind of go through themselves. So if we... on, okay, so we got that. I want to see how that works. That rendered, but it's not what I expected. So you come down, and then it's coming across, and it's wrapping around itself, but it's like a random loop. So I'm just trying to do some different like ideas. I just wanted to see if the rendering worked as well, and it does actually seem to work. Right? I know Cake Z or Cake Z or Iron Pricing is doing loons. I'm not trying to copy him. Look, I'm doing a tower defense game live on Twitch. I'm not really trying to do like a real game that I'm going to sell. So it works. Like this is pretty nice so far that we've got this, and you can see it works as I expect. Right? Like, that's kind of not a bad map in the grand scheme of things, right? We could probably now populate it with some trees. We've got grass. We've probably got some trees to deal with. So we know what the trees were, right? Because we can open up this. This is just landscape, but I swear there's like more than that. Is there like, when I go into the downloads, we've got details. It's called details, I guess. Yeah, so we've got trees. So let's call this. No, we know what it can do, right? It's going to be trees, any of these details numbered, and we're going to do it. So every so often when we've got a like a dot, right? I'm going to do if tile equals grass. Then we can do here is if rand dot, int max equals 7, like, I don't know, every like fifth tile. Yeah. We then need to pick a number from 1 to 12. Yeah. So funct tprintf. It's going to be trees sent d. And I'm going to do the landscape map. Why is that resetting every single time? Because look, I'm doing the seed, and I'm an absolute retard. That'll do it. So this is where I'm like, look, I've got everything correct, but everything isn't correct because like the position of everything is a little bit off. So if I go back to 22 for the grass, the trees then need to be added up a little bit. So st.y then needs to be tile height divided by 2. No. Let's just do y offset. They're a little bit too high now. Still too high? Oh, it looks like Market never got killed somehow. What? What? That's a weird bug. Why is it taking forever to load? That's a weird Raylib bug. That's what I'm going to say. So dividing by 2 doesn't seem to be... Why is this taking forever to build? This is why you shouldn't really rely on other people's assets, because it doesn't always work the way you expect. What the frick is going on? Oh, so one problem I've got is my camera has died again. Yeah. And I need to restart again. We're having this every stream now, so every time like Raylib crashes something, I think it is Raylib at this point. Yeah, fine. I love it when games crash your like drivers. And I'm back. They're not even the same height. Yeah. Like, how many pixels off is that is my question. Oh, for God's sake. They're not even the right height, are they? Oh. Let's just choose one random like texture. Clearly this is not a stream's worth of a game, because clearly when you're drunk you don't clearly think through. I'm starting to sober up, but that's not the point. This is really annoying me. Was it like 11, wasn't the other one? No, it wasn't 11. What was the number originally for the landscape, which was just flat grass? It was 28. 28 looks fine. But now look at all the tree textures look wrong. So we could just do like a... Tree 1 doesn't even work. Tree 2 is ever so slightly off. Tree 3... Tree 5... Tree 6... Tree 6 is perfect. Okay. We're going with tree 6. It's not actually perfect, by the way. It's like still 1 pixel off. There we go. You say the bottom of the sprite. I don't necessarily trust the sprite in general. Like, I don't think that they are correct. Yeah, but look at that. That looks fine, right? That looks like a nice little tower defense where things are kind of coming along. Yeah. So if I go back to the tower defense game, we've got all of these different actual tower defense things. So these are the towers for our tower defense. They're not going to be fun to work with, you're right. But I'm just also trying to think. Like rendering wise shouldn't be too difficult because it's going to be like similar to what we've currently got. But like this is our like thing that goes on, right? And it is rendering as we expect. The problem was with this tower defense pack that we got from Kenny, right? Asset, tower, we're going for the isometric one, obviously. It doesn't really have anything that we're going to be killing. So it's just the landscape and the towers. I think we're going to have to draw something. But the thing is, I'm nearly up to my 2-hour mark and by 3 minutes. And I mean it. Like, I am being actually correct. Unless someone raids me. And I hope they don't. Really do. Hope they don't. I'm going to go to bed. Because I need to get some sleep. I need to, like, force myself to get to a better time zone. We can't make the trees the enemies because the trees are tiles themselves. And that's the problem. But it looks like a good tower defense, don't you? Right? You'd agree with this. We could, like... What if the towers themselves shoot projectiles? Towers versus towers. Now that is something which only would come out when you're drunk. So, yeah, towers shoot the towers. That is a brilliant idea, I would say. That's one way of doing it. You know, I'm going to call this a night. I'm like, we've done not much. when you're drunk, you're not productive. Top tip: don't do this. So, like, it looks pretty good, right? For what I've done, it doesn't look bad, right? That looks like a tower defense scene. Like you've got the thing where you're gonna have to play. We're gonna have to figure out placement eventually as well. Convert like the screen coordinates to the world coordinates, which is not difficult. We've already got those coordinates kind of settle out, and then things are gonna work, I guess. I mean, if you're doing towers shooting other towers, it's not really a tower defense anymore. It's just more of a isometric worms game. It's kind of what you've got. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where we could probably do this on another stream, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be streaming for a while anyway. I don't think I'm going to have the time, unfortunately. So it's kind of like, you're going to have to wait well over a week, I think. Unless I could do some tomorrow, but it would be much earlier than this evening. Like, I've been doing it quite late. I could probably do it early. I'm not going to do any promises, okay? Not going to do any promises. No, screen to tiles is dead easy. Like, you want to see the algorithm, what you do this is what the screen coordinate is? Right. That's trivial to go back from screen space to tile space. It's not difficult, man. It's really easy, so I wouldn't worry. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the best way to deal with this then. You know what? I think I'm going to call this night. It's been 2 hours now. I am glad that everybody who has joined the stream, there's all like over, there's been over 100 people, like contiguous, consistently? I don't know. A word, right? There's been a word where people have been on the stream for a while. And thank you very much for watching, especially when I'm literally not like telling people when things are happening. This is quite fun. So once this has been like VOD'd, I'll post this onto YouTube so that people can watch the recording at any time that they'd like. And I hope that you enjoy it, is the best way of putting it, because I know that I did, obviously, and I hope you guys did. So I'm going to call it a night, and clearly we didn't do much in a tower defense, because I think I spent the first half an hour playing my own game, that card game. I then tried just get like another half an hour trying to get something working, as it wasn't working. So for an hour, getting what I did working wasn't bad in the grand scheme of things, but it wasn't good either. So good night, everybody, and I'm going to find out if I can find anybody to raid. Right, is there someone that I could raid that is doing like programming or something? Anyone like interesting looking? This is the problem, is that half the people who are doing this aren't always that interesting looking, to be honest with you. You're talking about someone that I don't know the name of. So there's this chap we could raid. He's got a few views already. He's not necessarily the best person to raid. I want someone to go like, who the heck is this? And like, why have they done this? Kind of view. No. This is more harder than you think, finding someone to like raid. Right, I'm gonna raid this bloke. How the heck do I raid someone? I actually don't even remember. Seriously, how the heck do I raid someone? I don't... I have to do a like /raid and then the name of the channel, right? So when I quit, you're all going onto that raid. So, sayonara? If I'm going full on Japanese. I think I'm Japanese. I really think so. So, goodbye.